if a man has met a woman and maybe he hasn't proactively gone and found her, maybe they just end up hanging out, and then it's sort of like, maybe they slept together one night and they fell into a relationship. A lot of the time I hear guys talking retrospectively about that and saying, she was a really nice woman, we got on really well, but I never really felt like I chose her, or I never really felt like I created that relationship. And so somehow he's managed to devalue the relationship right from the get-go, or has questioned it because of how it's come about. And I think that likewise, if it's somebody that you've met off of an app, and you're maybe meeting, sometimes, I hear clients who have got 2 dates with 2 different people off of Tinder in the same location on the same day. So which is obviously stupid, and I would never encourage anybody to do that. But it just shows like the baffling amount of choice. And I think if you are one of those people, then somehow the interaction can never surely be seen as valuable than if you'd have had one of those interactions. And I think that's why things like a day game approach, for all of its ways that it's flawed, it does a lot to kind of play into what people expect romance to be like, and what they expect meeting people to be like. Yeah,
I mean, if you do that, then I guess you've gone above and beyond to do that. And then if you do find someone that's interested, it is kind of like a big event. I guess people have some things invested.
I know, and whenever, people talk about like their meeting story, there are, I do know legitimately some Tinder romances, but people, when they say their meeting story, like they want a meeting story. Like my nan met my granddad because she fell on her butt at an ice skating rink, and he was the person that picked her up off the floor, and you can see everything about it, like the accident, the serendipity, like the chance meeting, him coming to her rescue. It has romantic conventions and this mythology, which, to be fair, I think that we've watched, we've listened to since we were like, small children. And that's created an ideal around it. My other nan has an even more bananas meeting story. And
so do you encourage your clients to try to create those meetings to a certain extent, to make them special when they have interactions?
I think it's good to understand what people expect. I think that's a very powerful thing, when you kind of can deconstruct what people expect around romance and dating and go, oh, right. Like there was this really interesting study. I wish I could remember the name of it. It was reposted in the New York Times this week, which was all about a doctor who wanted to see if he could recreate love. And so he created this list of like maybe 20 or 30 questions/statements that 2 strangers would say to one another that were designed to elicit a feeling of connection and to bring out compatibility. And then at the end of the experiment, this is weird, they had to go to a place of like romantic beauty, like a bridge or something, and stare into one another's eyes for 4 minutes. And bizarrely, loads of people that participated in that initial study ended up going on to date one another and claim that they were in love. And I think that shows something, that shows that the point was that you can choose to, when you fall in love, or you can do things really constructively that help to create that sensation.
Right. That makes sense.
It does make sense. So, apart from when the timer goes off after the 4 minutes, that might potentially ruin it a little bit.
Yeah, that could be bad.